When the rescue team found Moon and Honey, they were barely hanging on. Two tiny, frail kittens were huddled together near a garbage truck, lost and terrified. Their little bodies were weak from malnutrition, their fur covered in dirt and their fragile spirits deeply wounded by the harsh life they had endured. But what broke our hearts the most was their condition. Honey was completely blind, his unseeing eyes reflecting a world he would never know. And Moon had only 2 working legs, his front limbs paralyzed and useless. 2 little souls, abandoned, unwanted, yet clinging to each other, as if they were the only thing keeping one another alive. The rescue team knew they couldn't leave them there. They carefully picked them up, speaking to them softly, reassuring them that they were safe now. Despite their fear, the kittens didn't resist. Perhaps they had already given up. Or maybe they simply trusted that for once someone truly cared. At the veterinary clinic, the doctors examined them thoroughly. The prognosis was tough. Honey's blindness was irreversible, and Moon would never be able to use his front legs again. But that didn't mean they couldn't have a good life. The vets devised a care plan, ensuring both kittens received the medical attention, nourishment, and love they so desperately needed. The first few days were difficult. Moon struggled to move, learning to balance on just his 2 hind legs. Honey, completely dependent on his other senses, trembled at every unfamiliar sound. But through it all, they had each other. They would curl up together after each feeding, comforting one another in a way no human ever could. Day by day, there were small victories. Moon learned how to hop around using his strong back legs, defying the limitations of his body. Honey, despite his blindness, became more confident, using his whiskers and hearing to navigate his new world. And most importantly, they began to trust the humans around them. They started responding to gentle touches, leaning into affection, and even playing in their own special way. It was as if they had finally realized they were safe. Just as it seemed like their story would have a happy ending, tragedy struck. 2 weeks later, the rescue team received devastating news. Despite the best efforts of the veterinarians, both Moon and Honey's health took a sudden turn for the worse. The hidden illnesses they had carried from their harsh life on the streets began to take their toll. Their tiny bodies, already so weak from malnourishment and neglect, simply couldn't fight anymore. We fought for them. We refused to give up. The veterinarians worked tirelessly, trying every treatment, every possible solution to save them. But sometimes, no matter how much love and effort we pour into saving them, it's just not enough. Moon passed away first, his little body finally too exhausted to continue. Honey, sensing the loss of his brother, grew weaker by the hour. He no longer responded to our voices, no longer lifted his tiny head. It was as if his will to live had gone with Moon, and then he too took his final breath. We had dreamed of a future for them, a safe home, warm beds, endless love. We had imagined them growing up together, 2 inseparable brothers defying all odds. But fate had other plans. Now all we can do is hope they are together in a place where they feel no more pain, where they can run, play, and be free. Their story, though tragic, is not just one of loss, it is a call to action. Every day, countless animals, just like Moon and Honey, suffer on the streets, abandoned and left to fend for themselves. Some are lucky enough to be rescued, but many are not. We need to change that. Please, if you ever see an animal in need, don't turn away. Help them. Support your local rescues, adopt instead of shop, and spread awareness about the countless innocent lives that need saving. Moon and Honey's time with us was short, but their impact will last forever. Let their story inspire change. Let their memory be the reason another life is saved. Share their story, be their voice, because every life, no matter how small or broken, deserves love. Rest in peace, sweet Moon and Honey. You are loved, and you will never be forgotten.